Okay, so the first lighting setup that I'm going to be demonstrating for you guys is called split lighting, and this is achieved when your camera is facing directly in front of your subject, and then your light source is at a 90-degree angle, sitting basically like at the shoulder of your subject. So if we can see from my setup, this is my ladder as a tripod, and I have this little box where I put my phone, and then I have my light source, and then I have my stool. So I will be sitting at my stool with my light source pointing at my shoulder in front of my phone. So I'm putting my phone in my little compartment, making sure it's centered. I'm sitting down directly in front of my camera, and my light's actually a little tilted right now. But my light should be coming at a 90-degree angle, hitting just one half of my face, so that one half of my face is in light and then the other half of my face remains in shadow.
I achieved this lighting effect as though I was going to do split lighting with two different light sources. Each light source was on either side of the subject at a 90-degree angle from the front of my subject. One of the lights was a blue laptop screen, and the other light was a red laptop screen. In your assignment, make sure that you start to experiment with color.
This is the second lighting setup that I want to show you guys, and it looks very similar to the split lighting setup, but it's ever so slightly different. So I'm going to put my phone in my tripod, and my light is going to be at a 45-degree angle from the front of my subject. So with my phone directly in front of my subject, which is me, I then have my light at about a 45-degree angle from where I'm sitting. So I don't want it directly in front of me, and I don't want it directly beside me, but I want it to be kind of in between. And this lighting setup is called loop lighting, and it's called that because there should be, and I don't know because I can't see my camera right now, but there should be a sort of loop shadow created on the side of my nose. Like this part of my nose should be in shadow, and there should be something that looks a little bit like a loop or like a curve down at the base of my nose. So this third and final setup is referred to as the butterfly lighting, and it is achieved in a little bit of a way that's kind of confusing, but your camera is actually going to sit below and in front of your light source. So my light source is up high, and you want it to be a lot higher than both your subject and your camera. So I used the stool as my tripod because it was significantly lower than my ladder. This is where I put my camera. That's my light source. And then I am the subject, and I want to be below that light source, so I just sat on the floor.
Similar to this image, you want to make sure to pay close attention to the background of your photos. Your background should be clean and intentional. So what that means is that you shouldn't have a lot of clutter or other people or other things in the background of your photo. It should be nice and clean and simple. A plain background helps to focus the attention onto the subject rather than onto the background of your picture.
Okay, so I'm on the floor, and I have my camera directly in front of me, and my light source about 2 feet above my camera and just a little bit behind it. And this gives us the lighting called butterfly lighting. And it's called that because my shadow forms this little like shape under my nose, and supposedly it's called a butterfly lighting because it looks like a butterfly, but I don't really see it. But yeah, this little tiny rounded shadow on my nose and the shadow underneath my chin on my neck is kind of two different characteristics of this butterfly lighting.
One last thing to remember is how your background will affect the lighting of your shot. A plain background close to the back of your subject will change the light. For example, in this image, the light is being reflected off of the wall and back onto me, creating an overall brighter photo.